Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka Mr. Gentleman, and I am the host of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. If you are enjoying this show, you can also check out the Premier Boys Podcast, hosted by myself, Aaron Keetook Sands, the Star Rider Rod, and Long Live Chief Mighty Mal, where we discuss everything that's going on in the culture, from love, relationships, music, sex, politics, and many more. We can make you laugh, but the show could get a little raunchy, and it may not be for everybody. But if you are curious to listen to the Premier Way podcast, you can tune in to the Premier Way podcast every Wednesdays at 12 a.m. or all podcast platforms, a part of the Premier Powerverse Network. Other shows that you can check out on the Premier Powerverse Network is King Talk with Aaron Sands, hosted by Aaron King Talk Sands every Friday at 12 p.m. Star Time Podcast hosted by the Star Rider Rod every Monday at 12 p.m. And Welcome to the Trilogy hosted by Long Live the Chief Mighty Mal every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Listen and support every show in the Premier Powerverse, including this show, Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast, who is also a part of the Premier Powerverse Network. Thank you for listening to this message and check out the show. Chill! You are now listening to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast Season 10. Chill! Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka Mr. Gentleman, one of the fourth of the Premier Boys Podcast, and your host of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. And welcome to another new episode of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Hope all is well. And on this episode, we have a special guest. She is an actress, producer, and she does many other things. And we're going to talk to her about everything that she is doing, from being an actress, a producer, being a creator, and many more. This was an amazing conversation. I can't wait for y'all to hear this episode. And y'all already know what to do. Sit back, relax, and I'll be right back.
This is Belinda Jaime, also known as Miss Mariposa, and you are listening to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. That's the time for Mr. Gentleman Facts quote of the day. And today's quote of the day is, dreams only come true when you make it come true. And I say this because if you have a vision to do something amazing, you just have to go out there, put in the work, go through the bad times, go through everybody saying negative things about you, your brand, and you just can't give up. Only you can make your dreams and turn it to reality. And up to you to get that done. And that is today, Mr. Gentleman Facts quote of the day. Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka Mr. Gentleman, and I am the host of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. And this commercial break is brought to you by Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. On Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast, we interview many guests about their life journey, pretty much where they come from and where they at now. Also promoting their brands or whatever they're doing at the time they come on the show. We also have the host talk about personal stories about himself and everything that he's been through. And also we have fun conversation about anything music, anything old school, relationships, wrestling, and many more. And y'all can tune in to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast every Sundays at 12 a.m. We are also on every Thursdays at 12 a.m. for Spin-Off Series Thursdays, where we have all of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast spin-off series all in one day, where we have a conversation about music podcasts every first Thursday at 12 a.m. The Old School Show with myself and the Star Riding Rod every fourth Thursday at 12 a.m. And we have Date Night Talk Podcast with myself and Miss Vanna B every second and third Thursdays at 12 a.m. And y'all can tune in to Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Pods, and many more. Or y'all can check it out on the official website of Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast, www.realmrgentlemanlikethatpodcast.com, www.realmrgentlemanlikethatpodcast.com, and tune in every Sundays and Thursdays at 12 a.m. for Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in to this commercial break of Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast. Back to your regularly scheduled program. Cheer!
Hello, this is Brittany Cash, and you are now listening to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. And at this time, I got my special guest. She is an actress. She is a producer. She do many other things. We got to go talk about today. We got Miss Brittany Cash in the building. Brittany, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Yes, and thank you for coming on Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast. And, you know, I've been trying to get you on the show for a minute, so I'm happy that I finally have you on the show.
No, I'm glad that I was able to figure out my schedule with a couple of new work environments that I'm starting now and moving to Florida. And I feel like it's the best time now to get back into the podcast world.
All right, there you go. And, you know, we got many things to talk about. But first thing first, we're going to talk about where are you from?
Of course, yes. No, I would love to share my background with that. So I actually was born and raised in Northern Virginia, and I lived there for almost a good 30 years and just decided to move down to Florida with my husband of 2 years just to have a new start, a new fresh view outside, being able to go near the beaches and everything. But we do miss our family and friends in Northern Virginia, of course, but you know, it's been a nice change.
Yeah, go ahead and congrats on that. That's dope. That's really dope.
Thank you.
So I'm actually some icebreaker questions, so my audience can know more about you. So the first thing I'm gonna ask you is how will you describe yourself? Give me 3 words.
Oh, that's a great question. Definitely ambitious. I would say creative would be another word, and a learner would be another word because I love learning. I'm a teacher, of course. I'm full-time as a preschool teacher at the moment. And I love learning languages. I speak a little bit of Spanish, French, and I'm learning sign language as well. So I'm always wanting to learn something new. I learned how to bake new recipes as well. And being ambitious, of course, I'm with my business. I've owned a company for about almost 10 years in the health and wellness field, and just really challenging myself to learn different things there too. And the other word, creative, of course, with my acting, my producing, a big love of mine. I've been creative since I can remember. Honestly, I think when I was maybe 3 years old, I have my first kind of memories of me performing for my family and singing, dancing, making like little videos with our camcorders, my sister and I. She probably won't say that she did that because she won't want to admit it, but I remember.
There you go. And those are those 3 qualities. I agree with those 2. I got the same one too. So those are 3 good picks. All right, what is one thing you like to do for fun?
Yes, one thing I like to do for fun is just traveling to new places and going to the amusement parks. We moved here for a reason, of course, like to be closer to Universal Studios, Disney parks, and just being able to go to all the different places and try new restaurants. And my husband has been literally everywhere. So when we got together, I was like, "Oh, have you been here yet? I really want to go there." He's like, "Yeah, I've been there before twice." I'm like, "Okay, well, you have to show this to me now." And we're planning a trip to actually go to Vegas this year, so that's exciting.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. And that's dope.
Yeah. Thank you.
What's in your headphones right now? It could be a song, an album, or even a podcast. What are you listening to right now?
So Mel Robbins for a podcast all the time. I listen to her like probably almost every day. I love
Mm,
her so much. I listen to Gary Vee too. They're just some entrepreneurs that I really look up to, and their personalities of like being able to challenge themselves and other people to step outside of their boundaries and to really value who they are and to challenge themselves in different ways that they never have before, and health wise too with Mel Robb.
mm.
I love them. I think they're great. I like to listen to also with Jackie Hill Perry, with the Perry show. I listen to them a lot too. I'm trying to think. I also love listening to Allison Eid right now, and I love Ella Langley. Those are my two artists that I have on a repeat. Fun fact, I love to listen to country music. I like to line dance, so
Mm.
that's why I have that in my playlist.
There you go. There you go. Those are good picks. Those are good
Thank you,
picks.
thank you.
So let's talk about the beginning of life. So how was you growing up?
Ooh, that's a good question. How was I growing up? Like my personality?
In general, just you in general.
In general, okay,
Yeah.
wow. That's a loaded question. I think growing up, there's a lot of different stages to me. I think definitely creativity has always been a big thing for me, just being very quirky, unique. I just have memories of myself like building things in my room and just like making things from scratch. And my mom, she's no longer with us, but she was such an amazing part of my life. She would always say that I was like MacGyver. I just like building random contraptions and just like putting like my teddy bear on like a skateboard and pulling him down the road. I was that kind of kid. I always loved being outside. Um, I miss how kids are always outside, like how we were back in the day. Like, and this
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
too long ago. It was like the early 2000s, but it still feels like a long time ago, you know?
Yeah.
But we were always outside, just like making memories, creating things, always like doing dances too. Like I had a lot of friends that we would like make choreography, and this would be like that's how we played. Like it
Mm.
wouldn't be like maybe like playing video games like my husband probably was when he was that age. But I was like making full choreographed dance and everything and just like and performing it for our parents. And that was like that was the peak. That's what we did. I did cheerleading for a long time. I had actually cheered for about 8 years, and I was a cheer captain for 2 of those years and
Oh, nice.
absolutely loved it. I did theater from age 5 until I was yeah, in college, really. So about like 20 something. And then I took a good like 8 year gap, got back into it at 28. And I've been just rolling with it now for the last couple of years. So that's my age,
Nice.
if you could do the math there.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. And I agree with you. You know, growing up, we did had a lot of fun times. Sad that a lot of kids this generation don't have those fun times, but
Yes.
yeah, yeah. Time definitely had changed. Time definitely had changed. So, how all that you've been through made you the person that you are today?
It's a great question. I think a lot of ups and downs, definitely like having some setbacks with friendships or relationships definitely formed me into who I was. Being able to not have to rely on them, but also to look for better people too that actually supported me and to support myself too, and to have my faith in Christ grow. At
Yeah,
one point, I was very, very depressed, very anxious. Also, didn't want to be on this earth, honestly. So I had a season where I just went through a lot of emotional things and just was going toward the wrong relationships in general, for like romantic relationships
yeah,
without any value for myself. I think a lot of people can kind of understand that just from maybe their own personal experience or they know someone, but I was that friend. I was the one that was always going through something and like literally from high school into like my mid 20s. And then I met my husband. I was like, thank God. And from there, yeah, we've been able to grow a lot quicker because of the past that we had gone through, both of us.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And yeah, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. And we're gonna talk more about mental health and stuff later in the episode. But thank you for sharing that so far.
Of course.
So one thing that you are an actress. So what
Yes.
is what inspired you to become an actress? And what age did you discover that you had talent? Is that discover that this is something you want to do?
No, definitely. Honestly, since I was really little, my mom would always tell me that I was singing songs, and I was writing songs too when I was like 8 years old. I did a lot of theater plays and performances, community theater since I was about 5 years old. I played in The Three Little Pigs. I was Mama Pig. That was my debut role. really important to me. And then I did a lot of other things in school. I was an Annie Junior. I did Hairspray. I had more like smaller roles there, but I loved it. It didn't matter to me. I got to wear the costumes. I got to become that character. I got to learn from my teachers and from these students around me. And I wanted to pursue it professionally, so I went to college for theater. I have a couple certificates in theater and communications actually, and technical theater. I love both sides of theater too, which is really cool. As a professional within growing in this industry, is film and theater at the same time, just kind of learning the differences and being able to, learn behind the scenes work. Like I've done makeup, I've done set design in some ways. I took a directing class as well, so I got to direct a couple of scenes, and just getting like my feet wet in a way, like just being able to just dive in different parts of that, just it made me fall completely in love with the industry. And honestly, I can't go back now because this is just what I love. I sing, I dance, I love working with other people. I'm very inspired by other artists as well. So like I will just watch dance videos and like be in awe and that I want to create something. So it's something that's really important in my life.
There you go. And keep doing things. That's amazing. Keep doing amazing things. I know you are killing it. But it's one thing. Yeah, it's one thing that you told that you shared with me is that you about to put out your first full length feature called AI versus Mankind. Tell us, how did that idea come together? And also, you also not only act in this, you also produced this as well. Tell us how that came together as well.
Yes, definitely. From one of my great friends that I met through JRP Virtual. His name's El Sharif Kirkman, and we connected through our class, and it was a virtual class, so we never really got to meet fully in person, but we just kept a great relationship. And he mentioned to me that he was writing AI versus Mankind, the final war, and he wanted me to be a part of it because of my work ethic and business, of course, and just how much dedication I put into our class with acting. It really stands out. So I do want to say like the effort that you put out, people do notice. And this is such a good example of that because I was not expecting to have that opportunity given to me, and I'm very grateful for it. And it's taught me so much. He's been taking me under his wing and teaching me the ropes because this is my first time producing ever. And I'm learning everything from scratch, but I've learned so much already of like how to conduct myself, how to be straightforward in conversations more so. I'm a very creative and just like fun person, but having that goal of being able to have a good conversation with someone and to see if they could be a good fit for something or if we can have them as an investor. That's a different kind of conversation realm that I have not had before. So being able to learn from Al Sharif, he's been teaching me a lot within that. And acting, of course, is something that I am very passionate about. So being able to get this role is a huge dream come true because I've been working with short films for a good couple of years now. And I also did a couple of projects too with music recently, but I was looking for that, full length feature. And it was really amazing to be able to work with a friend too on this project.
And that's dope. And congrats on that. That's really, really dope. So my question is, if you could answer this, when would this come out, and where can we watch this?
Yeah, so we're still in pre-production, so it's going to take a little bit more time. We do have the aims to be resuming filming within a couple of months. So we're looking at September, October timeframe to be filming down in Tampa and possibly some other locations as well, which I'm really excited about because I love traveling. But we do have a lot of behind the scenes work going on. I'm putting together teams at the moment, so I'm working with other producers and having some producing assistants too with getting all the behind the scenes work, all of the spreadsheets put together, the organization parts that is helpful to delegate because doing it all by yourself while working full time and owning a company is not the easiest matter. So I'm like, let me divide and conquer, and just finding people that I trust is huge. I have some great friends that are already like stepping up and working hard on this project behind the scenes too. And El Sharif can say the same. So what we're doing is, of course, just building that team. We're building the environment around everything and just having a positive group of people. And definitely the goal is to have everything I would say within the year. That's, within the next year possibly as well. So I would say definitely within 2027, you'll be seeing this production up and about. And we're going to be taking it to the film festivals first and then having it be premiered on larger platforms like Netflix is a goal, of course, like Paramount Plus. We want to be able to have as many people see this as possible because we're very excited about the story behind this of the AI versus mankind. Of course, it's like very similar to like the Terminator, but it's more of like a more updated version because AI has definitely escalated a little bit more than it did in the 90s and
Yeah, yeah,
80s,
yeah.
of course. So it's definitely a storyline that people can relate to and just different thoughts and different questions that are going to be answered through this and different mentality that we'll be able to show.
Hey, there you go. And definitely when, when this, get done and you like put it into the festival, I want to bring you back so we get some more about this because this is amazing. And
Yes.
yeah, yeah, definitely we'll bring it back for a feature in the future again. Definitely.
I would love that. Thank you so much.
Yes, yes, yes. You're welcome. You're welcome. But of course, you also do many things. You also have a project called Soul Evoke Creator Collaboration Competition.
Yes,
Tell
sir.
us, tell us what that is about, and how was it the experience like work with other artists?
This was one of my favorite experiences ever, and I've had a good amount so far. I think this is my eighth one so far in the last couple of years, like big things that I've been able to really put a lot of work into. And this one was just so unique for me because I've always been a singer. I've always been a writer, kind of behind the scenes. I've done choirs. I sung with my worship group before at a previous church in Virginia, Park Valley Church. Shout out to them. And I've also done a lot of musical theater, but never anything that was like me writing and like producing something, like sitting in like an actual booth, like such cool experiences that they went behind the scenes. They had a full camera crew. They rented out this beautiful Airbnb with like a pool in the backyard and like a zip line. Like it was so crazy. And just like my friend actually, he was working with sound. He introduced me to this opportunity. His name's Sean. Great guy. I highly recommend him. He's very professional, but he's also ambitious too, where he's always looking for projects. He thought of me again. He's like, I worked with you on this previous one, so we have something, and it was coming up in like 2 weeks. So I'm like, okay, sure, why not? I had just moved to Florida. I think it was like maybe a month or two in from me being here. And it was in Seminole. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And having a lot of like really cool big name guest celebrities. And I can't really reveal anything yet, but some cool artists and different producers, different directors that were able to really speak to us during the show and they were just like giving us advice. And then we would take different challenges and be able to create music and create different, even freestyling too. We got to do like a freestyle around the campfire. That I'll give you that little insider, but it was so cool. And like they're putting out different episodes, so it's like a reality show, which is fun. I've never been on one of those either. So I got to really kill like the two birds with one stone with that opportunity. And the people are just great. I still talk with a lot of them, and we have great relationships. And we'll be back for the next season too to be able to send the next group on. So it's a pretty cool like longevity type of opportunity too.
Oh, that's just really fire! Wow, wow,
Thank you. Yeah.
that's amazing. Wow, you are doing a lot of amazing things. I'm not just saying that. You really are doing a lot of amazing things, and congrats to you for real. Congrats to you for real.
Thank
But
you. It's been awesome.
but that's not just it. That's not just it. You're also a founder of Deluxe Night Legacy Wellness. Tell us what that about and why is having good health important?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So that's the company that my husband and I have created together, and it's based off the Amway company. So a lot of people have heard of Amway most likely, but it's a company that we're able to leverage, thankfully, and we were able to put our last name to it with an LLC. So Lutz is it's actually a city too in Florida, which is pretty cool. My husband and I wanted to move here so he could become the mayor of Lutz. And so we wanted to incorporate our last name there because building a legacy is very important to us.
Yeah.
And we definitely really believe in teaching people about health and wellness so they can help their families too. we've had some family members that, did not have the best health, and are no longer with us, some of them. And to be able to pass along the information that we've thoroughly researched, the doctors that we have access to now, through connections, it's such a blessing because these are things that we did not know
Yeah.
growing up. We knew a few things here. They're like eat your vegetables and work out or move your body, but there's a lot more to it, like the protein that you're supposed to have during the day, the different supplements that can help you, or how to get proper sleep. And if you're not, how can you fix that? And just being able to be around people that are very focused on their health and wellness, personal trainers, and just people that really just they prioritize their wellness. They work out just about every single day, some of our mentors as well. And we've been able to just follow their example and duplicate that in our lives, but we love what we do, honestly. This is an opportunity that I've been doing for almost a decade, so it's been a little over 8 years so far for myself, and it's something that I will be doing honestly for the rest of my life because I value being able to educate others and to learn from myself. And I believe in our products that we have. They're fantastic. They really work. My skin is fantastic as well because of the products that we use and the skincare lines that we have with Artistry. There's just
Mm.
nothing better. It's the number one direct selling company in the world for a reason.
And like I said before, you're doing amazing things, and congrats to you to everything that you're doing. Keep killing it, and that's amazing. Thank you for sharing everything that you've been doing on this show.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. So we're gonna switch gears a little bit, and one thing that I do talk about a lot on my show, and you already shared a little bit of it earlier, is mental health. So my question to you is, why mental health is important, and what challenges have you been dealing with mental health?
Yeah, so I always go back to The Savior Complex. It's a film that my friend Mariah and I worked on. We also co-wrote this with another friend named Sam. And this was just an amazing project that we were able to really put mental health into a short film where we were superheroes. Mariah was the director, I was a co-writer, and I was an actress in this. And my character is able to heal people, but she felt like she never got the credit that she deserved. And we were all in therapy, having a conversation about it and the different parts of our lives as superheroes and just kind of bringing that savior complex to life because a lot of the times we want to save everyone else, but we can't save ourselves or we don't
Yeah,
prioritize ourselves. And being able to take care of like our mental health and our self-care is so important. We had a podcast about this. We invited mental health professionals on this podcast and just to be able to have a conversation and to provide resources at least. It was such an amazing opportunity. That's still actually in film festivals as well. And it's something that I believe we should revisit at some point or write something similar to it because
yeah,
it can't be said enough.
yeah. Agreed.
Hmm.
And always talk about mental health on my show because it's very important. I dealt with mental health myself,
Yes, me too.
with anxiety, depression, and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And it's very powerful because not enough people talk about it. And that's why I always like happy when my guests want to share it because it's very important because you never know who you're helping.
You're right.
So yeah. So yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for sharing what you said earlier about what you were dealing with earlier through mental health. So thank you
Of
for that.
course. Yeah, no, I think I just want to add on to that a little bit. Going through grief too is a completely different part of mental health that I think that some of people forget, but that's something that people can experience for their whole lives. I know losing my mom a few years ago, her birthday's actually coming up in 2 days. Um, and it's something that's it's so deep to be able to go through and like anything honestly like figuring out how to navigate this world is difficult but without your loved ones it can be even more challenging because it's such a normal that you have gotten used to of having them around but not being
Yeah,
able to speak with them, it can bring out different emotions, different maybe depression sometimes, or those feelings of just like wanting to stay inside and not to be around anyone because you don't want to be seen. And
yeah,
it's okay to be, going through certain things. It's okay not to be perfect. It's okay to take off the mask and be real and cry sometimes. I really believe letting your emotions out, expressing your emotions. For me, creativity has been a huge thing, but also having great friends and having great counseling. I highly recommend counseling for everyone in some
I
form or
agree. Yeah,
fashion. Yes,
yeah, I
it's so
agree.
important.
It is because I do go to therapy too, so it is
Yes,
important. So I
we do
agree with
too.
you on that. Yeah. So yeah, but once again, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. And grieve, yeah, I agree with that too because
Mm.
I would like them out there when I lose both my grandparents or all my grandparents.
Oh, mhm.
So yeah, so I get it. So yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Of course, definitely.
So we're gonna switch gears again to something more positive again. So
Awesome.
so so what's your dream venture? Something that you always want to do but you haven't done yet.
Ooh, okay. So one of my biggest dreams outside of what I've already done so far is to be able to open up a community center. And this is something that I see in the next like possibly 5 or 10 years at the earliest. But honestly, I want to make sure that it's the right place, it's the right people that are working with it, and also just the right location, all these different things. Because buying land and being able to build on that land and working with different like resources, different types of education things as well, like classes, for example, or programs, it's going to take some research on my end and that time. So that's why we're working on building that time and money so then we can invest into the community and to be able to help other people, say, for example, with taxes, help them with learning how to express their emotions, their creativity, and just making things with their hands, being able to build things from scratch, cooking, baking, all that kind of stuff, growing plants and different types of vegetables and fruits from the ground. Something that I'm very into in a way because I love homesteading. I want to own a farm at some point too. So kind of being able to collaborate with that and have my farm and the community center together. Of course, my husband will be involved, but this is my biggest dream, but he's definitely supporting me with having that to come into fruition as well.
And that's dope. And like I said, anything possible. Anything
Anything's
possible.
possible.
But anything is definitely possible. But and I know you'll get that done. That's a really good idea. So you should definitely get that done. You should definitely
Yeah,
get that done.
my family has been a really big inspiration with that because my dad is very entrepreneurial. He's always taught me how to like network and to dream big and to believe in God too. He's been a huge, driven person in my life. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
also my aunt too. She owns a daycare in Alabama, and she's been able to just to create options for herself where she can travel more and just have that like delegation where she doesn't have to always be there too and like outsourcing. And of course with our mentors as well within our company, they own like 40 acres of land, a couple that we know, and we want that too. We're like, nothing is too big and unachievable in this lifetime, I believe.
I agree with you on that. That is definitely true. I agree with you on that. So what other project that you got going on that you have not spoke about yet?
Oh, okay. So I'm voicing a couple of voice acting roles, which is pretty exciting. So
Wow.
I'm playing I'm playing like a bank robber sister,
Ooh,
and it's a really cool like animation that was written, a comic book series, and it's not been fully released yet, but I'll just kind of give that information out at first. And then I've also voiced another like sorceress kind of role, which is more fantasy wise. And still, hearing back from that project. Sometimes voice acting roles they can take a little bit longer if they're coming from like the ground up and like the grassroots type. But I love collaborating with like new artists and people that are maybe not huge in the industry yet, but they have talent, and just to be able to contribute to their projects. And I'm also working on something that's based off the Five Nights at Freddy's, and this is in pre-production as well. And I am looking to hopefully produce with them, and just to be able to help them out. But once I can kind of get my other project fully funded is the goal, and then I'll be kind of having this one on the side too, where I'm able to help every now and then. I'm also working on some art for them too, for their characters, and then I'll be voicing one of the main characters.
that's really dope. And like I said earlier, I definitely want to bring you back so you get to discuss more of even more future projects that you have going
Yes.
on down the line. So I'm definitely gonna bring you back for a future episode, Mr. Gentleman, like the podcast. because yeah, you're doing a lot, and we could talk about even more stuff. So yes, I definitely gonna
I
be
would love
back.
that.
There you go. And what they have to say for anybody going the same route as you, from being an actress, producing, owning your business, health, everything. Say something inspirational.
Definitely. I think getting around the right people has been huge. Being able to talk to people that believe in you and that can speak life into you is hugely important because it's it determines where you go and how you see yourself too. But also investing into yourself, whether that's reading books, listening to podcasts, taking classes. I believe in investment because the classes that I've taken for several years, they pay off. They've gotten me money from work. Thankfully, in this industry, not everything's been paid, but some of the things have been paid very well. And it's because of the time and effort that I put into things and the money that I've invested into myself. And finding a partner too that really believes in what you're doing is so important. That's probably one of the most important things. And for me, trusting God is important as well because sometimes you don't have anybody else. And for me, having God in my life, I know that He's going to be there with me and partnering alongside me and opening these doors that I can't even open. Because I would have never met some people that have have been in my life within acting, especially. They're from different countries. We all met through opportunities and acting showcase that we did in LA a year ago opened so many doors for me with relationships. Just getting out there and doing something is huge. Do not just talk about it. Do not just dream about it. Literally, just take action. Do something first that's going to move in the direction of your goals. Meet people, network, and help other people too, because they will remember that and they'll help you back.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you for sharing that because that was very inspirational. So thank you for sharing that.
You're
So,
welcome, of course. My pleasure.
so Brittany, before you go, we're gonna play a segment game, and we're gonna play this game called Five Random Topic. Well, actually, five random topics. And you give me a short or long response, and I will also join in with you on this as well. So don't worry, you won't be alone. You won't be alone in this.
All right. I trust you.
All right. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. So first question is, what's your favorite movie of all time?
Oh, my goodness. Anastasia. It was quick, but not quick. Anastasia, definitely the animated movie.
Okay,
Love it.
that's a good choice. That's a good choice. That's a good choice.
I appreciate it.
For me, I must say Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That's my favorite movie
Ooh,
of all time.
okay. Another animation. I like it.
Yeah, I've been watching that since I was a kid, and that's especially with seeing Disney and WB together.
So cool.
Yeah, that was really fire. All right, next is what's your favorite food?
Food, really anything ethnic. I have been really into anything Hispanic. That's like it can be like from Bolivia. Like my husband's from Bolivia, so I love salteñas. I love platanos. Anything that is Spanish sounding, I'm probably going to enjoy it.
All right, there you go. That's a good choice. That's a good choice. For me, I'm gonna say soul food, Thai food, and Caribbean food.
Ooh, okay. Okay, the Caribbean food, I had to add that. I actually tried some for today. It was amazing. It was fire. I'm like, I have to make this part of my favorite food. So you reminded me of that. So
Okay,
that's
all right, there you go. There you go. There you go. All right. Third one. Who is your favorite artist?
I would say long term Brandy is one of my favorite artists. Like,
Mm,
and the Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella, Full Moon, Moesha, everything. Like her whole career has been like even in Disney right now, she's playing Cinderella again, but like she inspires me a lot.
I'm not gonna lie, I am a Brandy fan too. So shout out to Brandy. And
Shout out to Brandy.
by the way, did you know that Brandy is doing the theme song to the new Different World reboot?
Of
That just,
course.
yeah, that just for the the other day. Yeah, yeah.
I
So
love her so much. So I follow her pretty often, honestly. And I love her style too. Like the way that she sings and like writes music, it's something that like I put into my own singing definitely because that's what I the first music that I had from her was like a cassette tape for Full Moon and I put that thing on repeat all the time. So that's where I just learned how to enjoy music was from my dad and my dad played like the best like R&B and like soul music and she was definitely a part of that.
there you go. And you know what? I'm gonna just say Brandy as well because I do love Brandy too. I am a fan of
Oh,
Brandy.
okay. You
So
took mine. It's okay.
yeah, I am a fan of Brandy. I mean, of course, Michael Jackson, of course, too.
Michael
So,
Jackson. The movie was great too. We
oh
loved it.
yeah, me too. I watched that movie like 4 times already. So yeah, I loved it. I loved it. So
Yes.
speaking of movies, what was the last movie you saw in theaters?
Ooh, okay. So the last movie we saw was Spider-Man. It was amazing. We absolutely love the entire franchise. I'm actually watching all the Marvel movies from scratch. So I'm watching them in order just so I can get a better idea of the universes and just to kind of get caught up with Avengers because my husband is like, you can't see this until you've seen these movies. I'm like, okay, fine.
No,
So
he's
that's
right.
what,
He's right. That's a fact.
it's a rite of
And
passage. Yeah.
yeah, and also you gotta get ready for Doomsday, which comes out December. So yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're definitely getting ready for that. So I have some time. I think I can make it happen in a few months.
It's possible. It's possible. And for me, I gotta agree with you. Spider-Man was the last movie I saw too. So yeah.
It was
Spider-Man.
awesome.
It was. And speaking of movies again, for the last question, what is a movie or show that you wish you made?
Ooh, I like this question. Okay. Wow. And I would have to go back to, let's see here. I'm still thinking Anastasia, honestly. I don't, or maybe something that's like, oh, another one would be Six the musical. Those two, honestly, like the music and just like the storylines behind it. I love anything that's like royalty. Just kind of a fun fact about me. My mom did a lot of genealogy and she found out that we had a lot of royal ancestors. And yeah, so that was something that I was like, okay, this makes sense for me because I've always been just like wanting to learn more about like queens and kings. I used to check out this one book from the library for every single week for like months about just different kings and queens from over the world, and mostly in like I think Europe. But I was just always interested in that and just like the story of like, oh, maybe I'm a princess. I think those are just so like whimsical and fun, and they're cool. I like them a lot.
That's really dope. That's really dope. And for me, I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't thinking this could be a hard question when I made it, but this is a hard question now.
It's a hard question.
It's a hard question. I think about it. I don't know why. I don't know why I do this to my guess to myself. But but if I had to say, it would have to be a romantic comedy, like
Ooh.
something like Boomerang or Hitch, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty much a romantic comedy. I would definitely wish I would have made one. So yeah, that's my answer. That's my answer.
It's not too late, right?
It's not too late, right? It's not too late. I did write scripts at one point. I never finished it, so yeah, it's not too late. But Brittany, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for sharing every day that you're doing and sharing your story. It was really amazing, and I'm looking forward to bring you back for a future episode of Mr. Gentleman Like That podcast. So once again, thank you for coming on the show. It was a really amazing conversation.
This was an amazing conversation. It's one of my favorite podcasts that I've done. So thank you so much for having me here, and I'm looking forward to future episodes.
Yes, thank you for that. Thank you for that. But of course, before you go, drop your social media where everybody can reach you, and drop where everybody can watch your stuff. And this is your time.
Of course, yeah. So really on all major social media platforms, I'm at official Brittany Cash. And of course, cash spelled like money, CASH. And this is going to have a lot of my like short film projects that I've worked on. If you go to TikTok, it's like my playground for creativity. So I post a lot more of like variety there. I'll post like more like day in the life videos. I'll post my voice acting videos that I've like learned from scratch with those two. So there's a lot of different variety there. And of course, with our business, we have, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and share this one platform. So I would want to say that anyone that is listening to this podcast, I do want to offer them a discount for free shipping. So for our website, it's Lutz Ignite Legacy Wellness on Instagram. If you send me a DM that you were a part of this podcast experience, we'd love to give you free shipping from our company and to be able to give you some great products.
Right, there you go. And thank you once again for coming to the show, and we'll be right back. Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka Mr. Gentleman, Now, I am the host of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast, and this commercial break is brought to you by Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast presents Spinoff Series Thursdays. And Spinoff Series Thursday is the new home for Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast Spinoff Series that brought to you shows like A Conversation About Music Podcast, The Old School Show, and Date Night Talk Podcast. And A Conversation About Music Podcast is a music spin-off series where we talk about anything music, from the current music scene and the old school music scene, where we interview many guests that's in the music industry and artists about their music journey. We have a segment game called The Face Off, which is a versus inspired game, and we have roundtable discussion about variety of music topics. And y'all can check out A Conversation About Music Podcast every first Thursday at 12 a.m. Every first Thursday at 12 a.m. Now, the Old School Show that featured myself and the star Roddy Rod is a show where we discuss anything old school, from music, TV shows, movies, and many more. We also bring in guests to join in on the old school conversation. Y'all can check out the Old School Show with myself and the star Roddy Rod every fourth Thursday at 12 a.m. Every fourth Thursday at 12 a.m. And last but not least, we have Date Night Talk Podcast with myself and Miss Vanna B, where we talk about anything relationship related topics like love, dating, relationships, cheating, the good and the bad, and many more. And y'all can check out this spin-off series, Date Night Talk Podcast, every second and third Thursday at 12 p.m. So look out for Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast presents Spin-off Series Thursday, A Conversation About Music Podcast every first Thursdays. The Old School Show with myself and the star Roddy Rod every fourth Thursdays, and Date Night Talk Podcast with myself and Miss Vanna B every second and third Thursdays. And y'all can check out Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast every Sundays for the main series and every Thursday for spin-off series Thursdays. And thank y'all for checking out this commercial break. And now back to your regularly scheduled program. True! I just want to take the time to thank everybody for tuning into this latest episode of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Thanks to my special guest, Miss Brittany Cash, for coming on the show. Thank you for coming on the show, sharing everything that you are doing. You are doing so much amazing things. And thank you for taking time to be on Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. And looking forward to bring you back on a feature episode of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. You can check out Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast every Sunday for the main series, every Thursday for spin-off series Thursday, where we have shows like A Conversation About Music Podcast every first Thursday at 12 p.m., Date Night Talk Podcast with myself and Miss Vanna B every second Thursday at 12 p.m., the Top 20 Cats That Show the series with myself and Jalen every third Thursday at 12 p.m., and the Old School Show with myself and the star Roddy Rod every fourth Thursday at 12 p.m. Look out for the newest spin-off series Thursday show, Date Night Talk Stories, and the Wrestle Conversation show coming real soon. You can check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Good Pods, and many more. Y'all can rate the show 5-star rating on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, Podchases. The more y'all rate the show, more people know about Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel at Ken, aka Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel at Ken, aka Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast, where you can listen to the audio version of Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast. You can watch the visual version of Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast called Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast TV. And you can check out the Gentleman Facts Quote of the Day every Mondays on all social media platforms. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Ken, a.k.a. Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast. You can also check me out on the Premiere Boys Podcast with myself, Aaron Kitoksan, the Star Writer Rod, and Long Little Chief Mighty Mount. New episodes every Wednesdays at 12 a.m. a part of the Premiere Powerverse Network. Other shows you can check out on the Premiere Powerverse Network. King Talk with Aaron Sands, hosted by Aaron King Talk Sands. You can check out all episodes right now. And look out for his newest show, After Hours with Aaron Sands, coming soon. You can check out all episodes of Star Time Podcast, hosted by the Star Writer Rod on all podcast platforms. And look out for new episodes of Welcome to the Trilogy, hosted by Long Little Chief Molly Mel, coming real soon. Listen and support every show in the Premiere Podverse. If you want to be a guest on Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast, send me a bio about yourself and everything that you do to my email at Ken, aka Mr. Gentleman at gmail.com, or hit me up on Instagram at Ken_Mr. Gentleman. I repeat, Ken, Ken _Mr. R Gentleman, Gentoeman. And we accept something okay. Do look for guests for the rest of season 10 of Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast and beyond. No Mr. Gentleman Like the shout-outs for this week once again, but don't worry, I am working hard to do the next few shout-outs for the next couple episodes of Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast. And of course, add me on Good Pods at Ken, Mr. Gentleman. Y'all already know Good Pods caters to many independent podcasters. You can see where everybody listens to. We can rate each other's shows and we have the charts. And we have Mr. Gentleman Like the achievements. We spotlight everything Mr. Gentleman Like the podcast is doing. And of course, we have the Good charts for society and culture. We are number 4 on the Noble charts and number 1 on the indie charts. For dating, we are number 2 on the Noble charts and number 1 on the indie charts. For personal stories, we are number 1 for personal story. For news and interview, we are number 1. For self-improvement, we are number 2. For the normal charts, the number 1 on any chart. Thank you, everybody who took the time to check out Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast on Good Pods. It really means a lot. And continue to check out Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast on all podcast platforms. It really means a lot to continue to grow the show. And once again, thank you, everybody. And of course, check out the official website of Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast, www.realmrgentlemanlikethepodcast.com, where you can check out all episodes of Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast, all 282 episodes of Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast. You can check out everybody who's been on Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast, all 86 guests who've been on Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast. Miss Brittany cast profile will be added on the guest profile. You can check out her profile as well. You can check out every guest where I've been on Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast. More guests will come real soon. And check out the official merch store of Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast. www.mrgentlemanlikethepodcaststore.com, where we have shirts, hoodie, masks, mugs, and many more. Support the official merch store so we can upgrade your listening experiences. So check out the official merch store of Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast. www.mrgentlemanlikethepodcaststore.com, and check out the official website of Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast. www.realmrgentlemanlikethepodcast.com. Thank you, everybody who checked out the latest episode of Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast. It really means a lot. Thank you for continuing to ride with me, and thank you. Next week, we have another new episode of Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast. Stay tuned for Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast on all podcast platforms where you search Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast. Look out for it every Sunday for the main series, every Thursday for a spin-off series Thursday. Thank you for listening to this latest episode of Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast. Have a good day all night while we're listening to this episode.
Hi, this is Michelle Miller from Mentors on the Mic podcast, and you are listening to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle.